Welcome back to Amandaberry. Since the last time I had to copy the first part of Androchange. So, this is the third city that uses industrial area. Throughout the episode, Androchange and Barebrück have industrial areas. On the other side, I just expanded the western part of Muses from Schurberg because this is Amandaberry. And the last thing is the most industrial layouts that made, containing large recycling centers, large disposal yards, and freight train stations. So in the second part, you might be going to do something unconscious. But first, I need to be working on this hilltop. So remember, this is the second part of Amandaberry. And it doesn't show a while, because it's not the way to do something else. To do a faster way, I need to press the shift to avoid collision. To avoid collision, you need to provide a lot of gravitation. Okay. This will affect their neighbors. This will demolish. And how is this exactly what is made? So I need to soften it. I want to make sure about this pretty good momentum. This will affect their neighbors. So let's rotate. So the other side on the hilltop is very unconscious. Collective aerosol. There is no unconscious aerosol that provide aerosol. Needs a hilltop here. Gently smooth the levels of the terrain. No other than yourself. So if you want to know about this resistance movements, actually in their minds will provide a lot of greater grants. Okay. No cities boundaries might be matching already. And we don't know everything else. Okay. This can crush your provided help. Androchange will take it here. And the other side will immersively good as well. So like, unless they know this part of the like full momentum. Well, I need to provide greater grants here. Quick level rushing. Here, just like this side. Yes, don't really think it is itself. So it can cause acceptable momentum. This can crush their own. Well, there is no power than in and of itself. If you try to drain this leveling, it will crash the lawyers in good. Unless they want to know about this provided. Needs a full potential than the other sickness. Collisions can happen. But not today, because this is exactly what is going on. So let's check it again. As you can say, it's demolished. So let's try to quick the turns and quick turns quickly. So stand by for this. I don't really think it knows how this happened. It's been 5 minutes since the last time it will happen. Unless they great. divide. Each consistent has 4 divisions, classes and subjects. Let's rebuild the road. And highway. Highways are very expensive than the other side. And the other demolitions could happen. And there you go. First we need to and throughout the most thing is apply more goods. Okay. Selhas Road. 40. Let's make it 46. I think it was 46 and 42 didn't match the following. 46, 44. There you go. And accept throughout the worst thing here. 48. Let's make it 48 on the other side. 46. 46, 48. Because it didn't happen last time. First, do everything in it has. Then secondly, no other than yourself. In this continuation, you could provide literal momentum. So this is okay. In your own. Probably you think everything you want it was. So the first thing is apply more resistances. Add some more trees. Then it's good to help. 48, 48. 46. Let's make it 46. Doesn't happen. Okay. It should be 46. 46 is the best thing you ever had connected to Simnation. And that is the end of the segment. It needs more trees. More trees are required. Oh yes, trees are required for knitting itself. Knitting itself with this double brush. And there you go. This is the Hilltop in Amandaberry. Oh, oops, wrong side. That is the first and second part of Amandaberry. You would even think about this area. You might forget about the Amandaberry side unconstantly. First, then second, then third. I need to fix more problems in Androchange and Barebrück. This time it's unconscious. Stand by for this. There's not much time left. With this hilltop, I need to have a habitats, then curb roads in it. So, unless they want to know, there's no more adjustment. So let's go back. So this time, this is going to be the hilltop roads, curbless, and unconsistent Barebrück. But now then, this is very far than he thinks. It needs a road. Roads are complementary, but it has to be a while. And that's all. First. Oops. The mouse layered it out. Then second. And the third should be promosively. I think we had a few things about So let's build the trees again. Unless the trees are painted, completely painted in the other side first. Fine. On the thing will compare without any restrictions. And that's all. Okay. Otherwise, this time, this is going to be the road climbing material. After all, 2 cities are required. And the road climbing material is the most thing that the water is clearing the waters and curb lines. So you might have a road climbing material. Then the thing is, the wrong side in each persuasion. Okay, let's demolish it first. Otherwise, things will ever had to know. You would have to check the environment. You can only build styles at once. So Chicago and Euro Contemporary are not included because of what happens. So the road climbing material is on the 4th segment. I think you probably messed this up. So I think Barebrück is missing. So let's go back then. So here we are in Barebrück. Now, all you have to do is to follow the provided pattern. So let's resume. Some of the roads have traffic lights, and I need to upgrade into rural roads. So very simple. So I need to demolish it first. And this is the rural road pieces. Remember what it's saying. Remember that on how does it happen. What is that? We just tell you. Upgrading into one-way roads are full of error. Then the other side is a predicament. The road intersection. Oh, okay. Wrong side. This is the wrong side. This is not very complementive. This is not complementive to work. Let's see. Oh, wrong side. This is the wrong side. I cannot build in each side. What is this? Standby. I don't really think it was. Now, do you have everything in rods? It's supposed to be here and here. It needs a road connection as requirements. So all you have to do is to follow the provided pattern. Then ever since the roads are very complementary to provide a single wall. Stop the clock. Do you really think it was? How do you ever think it was? A massive collision would happen. Let's race in date. Remember, Androchange and Schubert should be connected since 2007. Should stop for this. I had a few things that we will require more roads in a single situation. There we go. That's all you think. I think it was. Okay, it can't place no top after stabilize. Let's leave it here. So this part, I think we're going to have more and more and more. And another thing, it's required because what happens. Solid straight line. Do not forget. That's the super job as expected. So it needs a... what is that? Nah, that's the thing you ever want. So it needs a power stations. We called more in instance. And it doesn't really make sure in while as well. So let's build a bus station right over here. Police station is right over here. No, that's not a police station. It should be here. As expected. Well. Where is that located? Okay. It's already built. But the fire station... it's already built because it happens. Remember, do not burn this everything. It burns landfill and no pollution. Moderate pollution. There's no pollution right here. So on the hilltop might be confusion. It's time to get something more better than the other. Then the other side, okay. Okay. Not all you can get through in this part. Needs commercial services. Here and here. In case of what happens that you will notice about their extinction. Let's try saving a replay over here. Okay, let's not put this over here. So, quick save before doing this. So let's not do this thing here. Widen curbs. Widening curbs. Here and here. But the real question is how to provide a single safe wavelength. Unless... it's very differential than it was. Now, all you have to do is to build this again. Whoops, wrong side. Unless they wanted to know approximate. So, if you want to do this, it's time to rebuild any curb roads. Otherwise, it will not provide useful anytime. Constant. Very simple constant. Oh. It's a very simple constant you'll notice about these road layouts. Unsuitable, great for construction. Yeah, unsuitable, great for construction. Oh. Let's try one thing in here. Let's try in one thing. We'll provide a simple question. Nothing happens. Let's try putting it over here. To make a single wavelength. Here and here. This time it's expanded. right now what is happening, or else what do you make it? What do you turn into? A single slope. First, it needs a very close shore to this part of the station. Then second, it's not supposed to make it right in this constant stations. Then third is the most everything in itself will be forgot. Save your work before doing this to avoid crashes. Unless to do something weird. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this again. How does it possible? How does it possible here? Should be here. Verifications might not be identified. Whoops. Wrong side of the roads. Check again. Oh. Yeah. Should be like this. Should be like this as much as we got. So I need to. And I think we're gonna do right a little simulation sequence. Sequentially, yes. Things what I get is that house that you might forget first. For most of the things will provide more in demolishing extensions. This is the mayor's house. It cannot be demolished every time. Both each constant. So let's try to use it. Sure. This is the time to make consequential progress. Oh no, this is not time. If you do not save your work, the game will be crashed. It will lose anything. What happened? What happened with extinction? Instead. Whoops, something I ever had to know. What do you think it has? Whoops. What a great story. Check the viewer stories. You will never had to know about this situation here and here. Now it needs replacing to okay. Let's move the support ship. Then here you go. Okay, this is going to be the third city in single while. Now this time it doesn't check a single situation. This imperfect first thing here. And here. Think what you think. Good. Because not all people can have your attention. But it's very conscious for building some this part. Yeah, this part over here. Yeah, it's thinking. We don't think everything itself. Well, you believe everything itself. Such massive here. Right after that, you will even think about this limited areas. This can crash the game. You would ever think about this crashes over here. Then build an power line here. So avoid fraudulent restrictions. And it doesn't make a while. Oops. Let's rebuild. Every single line. Every single line has 140 inches. Has 140 inches. Every single line. Due to that restriction, we're going to provide more singularity. And there you go. This is the upgraded and updated. Yeah. Now, where is the fire landing strip? Including airports and would it happen? Would you ever had to do it itself? So this is another time to make it itself. You make sure it has to be 3 squares high and higher. This might take a longer time. Control number 2. At control number 2, you will ever see straight. There are 2 fewer things that you will know. Okay. Let's try this again. Number 1, constriction. Number 2 and number 3. It really thinks an airport to build is over right here. I don't really think it was over here. Narrow consciousness. Bye-bye. Let's try putting it over here. Let's try to make it perfect for anything we had. And then the water tower is row session alley. Now where do we put the water tower? And there you go. Okay, go. What will happen if we don't understand what happens? And there you go. This is the one you'll ever noticing. So this is the airport on the other side. So let's make it Barebrück Airport. Turn on the sign to make it happen. So let's say and there you go, lots of fewer things to do. Turn off the sign. I don't want to make shares anymore. So Androchange is up next. Massive few things that controls that may control you will have to be behind it. And where's the center? It should be on the center, otherwise yeah. This will forget. So you might going to have a road climbing material in Amandaberry. Stop the clock. We'll be right back. So, pretty much fun of this thing when if you do not save the game, it will be automatically discarded. So it's unconscious to see anything, such as roads, landing strips, and signposts at the same time. However, I need to do this again without the use of the screen. So what's the next thing? A fire disaster happened in the last part. So let's resume. Now, do you really think about the provided pattern? So let's follow. But first I need to follow the provided pattern. And it needs more fire stations because a fire occurred on the 23rd episode in the previous one. So this is exactly what happens. Do not forget about the bus station. And there you go, lots of few things in here. So the water, I think there's something wrong. So it's not even connected yet. First things. Fewest things that I ever had. Only the few things can easily have do not connect. Should be an Amandaberry. Should be less full concepts. Follow the grid before doing that. Remember, this is not quite easy than the other side. Let's put it over here. There might be dangerous on the other side, so let's keep on going. So intentionally, this is not an example of good and bad. This is not a good thing. You will notice had to be followed. There are no few things that has to be lateral. To build the water in the other side. Remember that one. Connections to Barebrück. And it doesn't seem a while. So it needs to be rebuilt. I need 4 fire stations here. And a bus station. So there are 4 bus stations on Androchange industrial area. So here it is. This is not exactly going. So let's switch into a one-way road system because this is not happening. There are not a fewer thing here in had. Thanks to the following, I need to provide. Remember that now. Okay, this is not exactly what's going on here. Sometimes it needs a lot easier than the other side. Well, and that's all. We don't know much exactly how it's made. Let's put it right over here. What you forget. This is going to be the second part of Amandaberry, probably. And look for the burning part. It looks like it's burned and it needs replacing. Yeah. You will be planning for having circulation of instances. provide some kind due to a massive incident. Well, if there's something wrong. And it's occupied. But not now. We're going to require a pure resistance policy that actually gets the entire industrial area. So let's go back to the center. I think it knows. You might go to check the water instead. Let's try removing it to avoid refrigerated costs. So that is why and how happened. Well, where's the center? Right over here. And the center on the next part, and the center on this part. Shouldn't be in the center right here and here. And you might going to say it's the center of the hard locking, deadlocking. Most of the locks are bugged throughout these contagious areas. So it's already 6 minutes in this past time, and I think there's something wrong. And I only need to put a single rural stations. It needs to be copied by the other side. Well, okay, so this part. A fewer things required might be on the 11th or something part less outrageous conceptions. Check the crime. Most of the crimes will be arrested. Check their commission, power, water, and that's all. Check the fire. There might have a fire in this area. So the first thing is, might be flammable. And the garbage should not be higher. Stop the clock. Amandaberry has a lot of things to do. So what's the next thing? And Androchange and Barebrück are busy. Welcome back. Then Amandaberry has a lot of things to do. So the thing is, the road climbing material is completed to the hilltop right now. And there's something wrong with this. I think it's corrupted. I should follow the provided pattern. It should be 20. Nicely. Then where's the cemetery? Some sort of any kind. Let's try this later. So this time, resume. Follow the provided pattern. Remember that. Turn on the grade before doing this. It should be 4 squares behind where some. Remember, 4 squares and where some. Another 4 squares and where some. Connection to simulation. 90 squares behind. And it should be 90. I don't want to crash the game. Fewer things right here, okay. That's not quite right, so I need to do this again. Here. Possibly this here. All you have to do is to try this again in the top of the front. Well, that should be better. This time I need to build this again. Do not forget. Remember on the side. Sandberg situation. Should be like this. And do you really think it was okay? Nope. Going to Androchange. Remember this part of Androchange is required. And unless likely you want to know about this situation first, let's not make sure about this processional moments. Then secondly, this is not how it looks like. I need a tool boots here. This can crash the game. Oh, there you go. This will happens if you try to crash the game here. Then the other side here. Approximately goes through the front. Placements right here, right now. Let's try putting it over here again. Okay, there you go. So this is nice for having a water supply. Traffic jams. Now look. Better shut this thing down now after this. After the work of the city. So it needs power. All you have to do is to have a power supply. Then make some changes. Bad supplies could happen. Now, all you have to do is to build again about this part, and seems like differences. And you will notice about this part of the station is completely required as all. No other than low bases. Here. Okay. Well, wrong side. Wrong side of the road. Alright. Possibly getting through this. Possibly getting through this. Let's try this over here. Over here. And the last thing is brutally here. You might get anything about the better roads. Roads are more complement, and that doesn't sure a while. Remember, Androchange doesn't like the camera right now. It's to get rolling with something. Remember, 9 squares behind. Okay, 9 squares. Try to check and drop this part. Also, 9 squares are easily required to do well. Put a water supply here, right here, and right here. Do not forget about this water. Should be placing here and here. Far from supplies. Getting through right over here, and it's already 1998. Not all can get a prescribed situation. And let's put right this here. A mayor's house could be possibly open right now and in Amandaberry. So it's super consistently ever since yeah. Now we has to be perfect ones in now. Should be okay, let's try making like 20 squares. 6 squares behind in this part. It's a very very dangerous part. Not all you can get when it works. Handbook. Handbooking. Yeah, going to Barebrück. Should be acceptable. In the other while. And should be a commercial. Let's make it 4. 4 is required. Okay, that's not right. Have you ever tried something else before? Here, right here and here. On this part of the day, continuously corrupting their own ritual work. So to do this, you have to try to make your own commercial buildings at the same time. Let's make it 8 or 9 or something. 4 squares behind. The video dies. If you do not do anything. Work less hard as you get. Hard you could. So you really think about this fully potential. So to avoid servantless area. I don't think it was. Here's the fewest things that you'll never had. You will never had right now, and right here. To accept the full potential stations here and here. That should have been this. Oh, okay. Wrong side of this part. Do not be such thing as like this. Oh, on the other side, you might going to have another bus station. Should be here. The game will crash if you do not save the game. That's all. Check the budget. Should be ordinancing 18,000. Well, need some more water. Need some fewer water supply. Okay. Community proposition. Let's try holding on this part. We'll be on sided swipes right here. Well, it doesn't connect in a single while. Let's put over here in the other side. Do you really think in the other side will be frustratingly commenced? We'll take all these chaos containers. You would even try this again. Please liquefy the part. this part. Not all you have anything else with this into this with some bus stations, but actually it gets more power supplies, power transformers. It increases more in the tots. Well, Selhas Road. I think it was. Okay. Now, Selhas Road. Nevertheless, corruptingly. Instead, if you do not save, that will be discorrupted. Or uncontagious. That is how what happens next. Let's make it 44. Maybe Selhas Road. 46. Remember that. It needs a fire station. The large police station can happen. Where's the health clinic? Let's put it in here. Supposedly. If you do not provide the following, that's not allowed if you think about the rule of this truck. It will not be liking it if not all purposes is complete. Let's make it 70. 720 is the possible can get. 800. Now accepts more thoughts. Remember that one. It's supposed to say low commercial offices will demolish the abandoned movement. The entire abandoned movement. Right. Remember how it describes. So of course, otherwise it needs more open paved area. Let's try something over here. Oh, do you realize how happened with this? Doesn't happen. There's no such thing as what. Complete disorder. Let's try demolishing it. Probably frequent areas. Well, let's say less than your people will forget. So now we have full of thing here. What is all around? And how does the whole around? With some placements here and here. Of course. Otherwise it will provide a lesser than a greater community here. Let's make sure about this fire brigade can happen. let's put it over here. And this one, put it over here. To avoid fewer things. And the other side. Remember, all people doesn't like it if you think about their trucks. Well, let's see. It's not quite as good if you do not understand how it happened. On its first companion. Well, do not see as such must have been anything. And there you go. Most of the few things is very simple as requirements. Furthermore, the viewers might be openings. Do not attempt to make sure about these closures, frustrations, and the network. So this is the Hilltop. Let's put a sign. Let's see, Amandaberry Hilltop. This is going to be the third hilltop. Right after you can choose a while. So let's rotate. Going back to the south. So let's make it that is how you get this part wisely. So now we have a sign here, and I forgot something. Muses West. Because it's music. That's not music, it's Muses. Muses West. Should be on the other side. For mostly, it needs more mayor ratings. Poll ratings should be higher than before. When you check the crimes, might be polluted. When you check the education, might be superiorly. Requires more funds, expenses, and something else. So when you check the part of this one, it needs more than I thought. It needs the first thing we lose the forgotten modes. I should initiate more water in the other side. Water from Barebrück is required. I think it is something wrong. Water from Androchange is required. So it needs a bus stations. In nearby bus stations are required in Muses West. Muses West is from Barebrück. And that will be it. Turn off the... I don't want to do this anything about that. This is not supposed to see anything. It's not always as required properly. Not all of everything's required as much as you can get. That will bring you the whole thing here. On the other side, likely this is not probably the 24th episode, and it's unconsciously. Barebrück is missing on the 24th episode. Auslebonia is completely finished, not yet. The 25th episode. They might going to have a new district approximately. On the other side is probably the most thing you ever know what that is. So it's already 1999 and it needs to be demolished. Kind of void right here. So this is going to be the second part of Amandaberry. Now, Amandaberry has two parts. You might going to say it's the next episode. Unconscious Barebrück. Another Barebrück expansion. Missing Barebrück expansion. Astonishing and Auslibonia have to be forgotten. Only one part with a small city. 25 episodes in less than future. So it's completely growing. And this time it needs a singularity. Unless if there are roll rosen ahead. Okay. You might probably think about. Yeah. Let's make it solar plants. That one is good. I don't want anything happened. So in the next episode, you might going to change into rural roads. I'll say this in Schureberg.